Zoetrope Cake! Ah! Ah! Welcome to Baking with Chickens. Today on this episode, I'm going to show you two things. One, what is this crazy ass Zoetrope Cake?
Oh my god, this is amazing.
And we have a new chicken. Hi! I'm going to tell you all about her and how we rescued her.
We did not mean to get another chicken. Oops.
Stick around and buck buck bake. Yes, buck buck bake. A zoetrope is a 19th century optical illusion toy that when you spin it, all the images on here look like they're animated. I had this idea to turn that into a cake that I could eat because I can, and it's awesome, and I really love cake. Oh my god, it's so good. You want a piece? You know, like when you were a kid and you would draw those little pictures in the corner of your books and then like flip it, like a flip book, right? A zoetrope is the same idea. There's lots of math involved to calculate exactly how many and how many frames per second and blah, 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 blah. What I need to find out is, did my cake version of the zoetrope actually work the way that I wanted to? Stick around, I'm gonna give it a spin and we'll find out if it actually works.
Check it out, this is our new chicken, Leelaberry. Isn't she cute? I got a message from a neighbor who lived down the street who said that there was this chicken running around in the street during a heat wave. It was like 110 and she had been by herself for over a week just fending for herself with no food, and they were worried that she'd get hit by a car or eaten by coyotes or raccoons or something, and she survived the whole time.
'Cause I'm a survivor. I just love Destiny's Child.
She's a little baby, like she was only a few months old. We came to try to get her and save her cute little butt. Apparently I am the new neighborhood chicken catcher. So she was this wild street chicken. She was so hard to catch. She like flew like 8 feet above our heads, ran underneath the house. We had to go crawl underneath the house to try to like get her, but we finally got her and we kept her. She's transformed in 6 weeks from this wild street child to the most adorable, cuddliest little chicken friend in the whole wide world. Yes. And now you're ours and you have the most spoiled, pampered life. Yes, you do.
Weirdo chicken lady, I will own you.
So Leelaberry is a game hen, and what that is, an American game hen was originally bred for cockfighting, and unfortunately that's still pretty common here in Los Angeles, even though it's illegal. But if you look at her little body, you know, they were bred to be small and tiny, and look at these crazy little legs. So the cool thing about game hens are they're actually the closest relative to the original jungle fowl of chicken. They're really fast, they're really spry, they can jump like 50 feet up into trees to roost at night. They like to go up high. And they're survivors. That's kind of what I'm hearing from people who've had them. So Leelaberry has become friends with Lady Olgaberry. How sweet is that? So Lady Olgaberry obviously was missing her best friend Raspberry, like I mentioned from my last episode. Leelaberry here filled a little void in her ice cold heart, and now they're friends and they cuddle at night and they hang out together. It's so cute.
Olgaberry, need more rooms over here. Coming right up, boss. I made her my bitch.
I'm training her to do something really cool, so I'll show you in a little bit, but I'll give you a hint. Arrr. While you're here, it'd be really awesome if you could like this video down there and also subscribe. Thanks. And Leelaberry says thank you too.
At first, I actually made a paper prototype of this cake because before I even went through the effort of making it, I had to make it and test it to see if my crazy idea would work. So I measured how tall these rectangles would have to be, cut them out of paper, and then made a stencil for myself so that I could pipe this black Tuile cookie onto my stencil on my baking sheet. It took a ton of math in figuring this out because it is an optical illusion. See these slits here that are on the side? I needed slits that were exactly 1/8 of an inch. You would look through the slit to the image on the other side. There's 24 individual cookies. When you do an animation, you need a bunch of pictures like your flip book. So there's 24 of those to make one moving image. You could also do 12, but 24 will give you a nice smoother look. You take the circumference of a circle, blah, 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 something, something, pi, d, pi r squared, whatever it is, to then calculate exactly the size and the width. I am not the type of person who's going to approach this cake from a mathematical point of view and calculate to do all of the math to get it. What I did that surprisingly, shockingly worked out was I just folded a piece of paper and then I kind of held it up to this and I was like, is that gonna work? Yeah, that looks about right. And then I started taping them all the way around to test it. And shockingly, it totally worked.
Oops, was that my camera?
But then Mr. Baking with Chickens came along and he did all this math to calculate it, and I was like, this is ridiculous. But you know what? The combination of both of us approaching it in this way helped make this magical cake. I drew this out as my test, see? So I had this piece of paper, I had in 24 individual squares, and I needed to draw the flower in progression from growing as a tiny little seedling into a bigger flower, into a little bulb, blooming and blossoming, and then eventually wilting and dying and starting again so that it would loop around in a circle. So I drew this out as my template, put it down like that, and then piped everything to match. And it worked! Yeah. What I don't know yet is my Zoetrope optical illusion actually going to work with a cake. Yeah! Oh, you broke it. Fuck. Breaking my masterpiece.
Make him walk the plank.
What do you think, Leelaberry? You pirates? Arrr.
Arrgh, matey.
Don't poop on me. So let me tell you about this cake. This is a 2-layer frosted cake with Tuile cookies around the edge, piped with royal icing. So the cake part is a chocolate and strawberry smarbled swirl. Did I say smarbled? Smarbled. It is a chocolate and strawberry swirled marble cake. And then it's layered with black cocoa frosting and freeze-dried strawberries. Freeze-dried strawberries is a really awesome way to get concentrated strawberry flavor. So I bought some freeze-dried strawberries from Trader Joe's, pulverized them into a powder, and mixed them into half of the cake batter, and then swirled that with the chocolate. And then baked. Oh my God. And then for the frosting, I just made a black cocoa frosting. But I wanted to add a little bit of like snappiness and bright fruit flavor in the middle. So I took some of those freeze-dried strawberry chips and layered them all in the middle and then covered it again with cake. So it's gonna give us that nice bright strawberryness when we cut into the cake and eat it. And then I covered the whole thing with more black cocoa frosting to give it a nice, even, clean black sheen. And then what I did was I took these black Tuile cookies. So if you remember from my last episode, Tuile are these nice little snappy biscuits. See? It's basically just egg whites, sugar, and flour, and that's it. And then I was able to pipe them into these rectangle shape. If you look at this, it's kind of wobbly, right? Like I didn't do a very good job of piping like even edges because it's really freaking hard. So what I did was I took this edge, went like that, and just started shaving it, and then it turned into a flat edge. Look at that. Cool, huh? So once I baked and cooled the Tuile cookies, I basically took royal icing, which is whipped egg whites with powdered sugar, to pipe the little flowers on there, and then used some buttercream as glue and glued each of these little rectangle pieces onto the cake in the exact order. Last piece. Yeah. Hopefully this works, and when we spin it, you'll actually be able to see the flower grow. So please don't judge me for my terrible drawing skills. Let's give this baby a spin and see if it works. Moment of truth, let's do this. Yeah! It totally works! Oh my God, what did you guys think? Wasn't that cool? If you want to try to make this and recreate this super freaking rad Zoetrope cake, the instructions, recipes, and how I did it, and photos, video, all that good jazz is in the link down below, bakingwithchickens.com. Also, like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. You can also follow me on Instagram at bakingwithchickens. Oh, I'm on TikTok too, because that's what all the cool kids do now, right? TikTok, and I'm obsessed. You can see, yeah, no, whatever. I just said I was a cool kid, that's sad. All right, I'm gonna cut into the cake and see what it looks like on the inside and taste it. You're gonna get the weird, cool, behind the scenes version of this. Let's go. It's cake time. Taste test time. Let's see how I did. Okay. I'm gonna recommend that you do not put freeze-dried fruit as your filling because it's really chewy. It tastes good flavor-wise, but the texture's not great. But the cake though, pretty awesome. So I'm gonna eat this cake and go to bed.
What are you doing?
Your lips are black.
Stop it. Leave me alone. Go away. My teeth are probably disgusting. Stop filming me.